down here with Ian Davis, co-owner of Blip Coffee Roasters at St. Louis and Hickory in the West Bottoms. And today, we're going to talk to Ian about coffee and motorcycles.
Sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Oh, not too bad. So, I guess obvious questions first. What is Blip?
Like, what does it mean?
Yeah, just, I mean, like, what is it?
So, Blip Coffee Roasters, we're a coffee roasting company down here in the West Bottoms. We've been down here for about 4.5 months, so we're brand new, roasting some really great coffee, putting out some really good products, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so you guys also do stuff with motorcycles?
Yeah, kind of. So motorcycles are more on the marketing end of things, kind of bringing multiple passions together through my main passion, which is coffee roasting. So we don't work on bikes or anything like that, but we just want to, tap into underserved markets. And one of those that we see that's a huge market is motorcycle riders. So that's who we're going after.
Awesome. So what's your history like with coffee?
So I've been in coffee in Kansas City for about 8 years. I started out at a little place called Oak Street Coffee Shop at 63rd and Oak. The last recent place that I worked at was at Egg Swan in Crestwood. I managed their cafe and worked there for about 3 years. I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for a little while. I did coffee and beer down there. And then when I moved back, I started the process of getting this business going. So, yeah.
So how many different types of roasts do you guys have?
Right now we've got about, on any given day, about 4 to 5 different beans that we have. And then each bean is roasted just specific to that bean. So we've got Peru, Guatemala, Ethiopian, and Brazilian right now. But those, it seems like they're always constantly changing. So,
what kind of plans do you have for going? I know you just started in December, but what is the next ideal step for Blip Coffee Roasters?
So this is our roasting facility. So this is where all the work gets done. The idea is that hopefully this spring or summer we're going to be able to launch a small walk up, walk away, very West Coast style cafe. No seating, no occupancy. But full service. So it'll have espresso, lattes, pastries, the whole deal. That'll be located right next to our roasting facility, right on the other side of these garage doors, built onto like this really cool deck area. So that's where we see it going, and hopefully we really just want to work with the people in the West Bottoms. The West Bottoms, it has a history and is still currently the place where so many people come to work, like in these big industrial buildings. There's a lot of manufacturing jobs down here, and that's really where I see Blip Roasters going. Is we want to be coffee for the hardworking people. We want to put out really good, tasty coffee, but at the same time, take away the pretentiousness that's like been brought about in Kansas City coffee. I want someone to be able to drink a great cup and not feel like they're not welcome, or they're not, or that they can't afford like a $4 cup of coffee. So yeah, we really see our base in the West Bottoms. I mean, this is where, like we were talking about it earlier, this is where everyone came to work back in the day, and we want to carry on that history of just, working hard, getting our hands dirty, and putting out a really great product.
Awesome. And so, as well as making coffee and motorcycles, I mean, you seem to have a strong vision and consistency with wanting to build community.
Yeah, absolutely. So community is huge with me. That was something that was really instilled in me when I worked at Oak Street. Their little catchphrase back in the day was "nourish community," and even though it sounds really corny, I mean, it's totally true. You have to work and nourish the people around you, to help everyone as a community, come together and grow. You don't want to just, be a sore thumb sticking out of a place where no one supports you and where you don't support others. So we're really looking to work with, as many businesses as we can in the West Bottoms. We've got some great partnerships going. and yeah, so we're looking to help them through our business. So, you know, whatever business I can bring down to restaurants because they have our coffee, you know, events. We're bringing the Kansas City Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club is going to be bringing blues, bikes, and barbecue down here to our space in the West Bottoms, and you know, that'll be a great event for everyone down here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the struggle of being a small business owner is huge. You know, I'm from Kansas City. I grew up in Kansas City. I've seen so many shops open and close, so many coffee shops open and close. You know, I know that that it's hard to own a small business, and so many people ask me, like, Ian, you know, why are you opening a coffee roasting company in Kansas City? It's such a saturated market. And my answer to that is, you know, I'm passionate about Kansas City. I'm passionate about coffee. You know, I'm passionate about being loyal to my city, to my family, to my craft, to my coffee. And having said that, you know, I've seen places open. I've seen them close. Right now, there's a lot of places, you know, that might not be around in 3 years or 5 years. And so I think that if I bring that loyalty, if I bring that passion, you know, you're going to see Blip Roasters chugging along in 3, 4, 5 years when other people are sort of questioning whether or not they chose the right path. So if that means me being small right now, I'm okay with that. You know, I know we're not going to blow up overnight. You know, we don't need to. We're keeping our head low in the West Bottoms, you know, working hard, putting in hours, and, you know, time will tell, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Because I think one of my favorite things that I heard was in a previous interview that you had done. You had discussed kind of the, you know, the similar, and I really like what you said about being true to your beans.
Right.
Obviously, you know, starting out with smaller equipment, you know, instead of just, you know, all of a sudden taking out a loan, getting a giant, you know, setup to where all of a sudden it's just like, oh, they're just beans.
Right, absolutely. I mean, so the roaster that I have now, the only reason I was able to afford it was when I moved back from Charleston, I sold my truck. And so I sold my truck, bought a roaster, and it kind of brings it all full circle again. You know, my only mode of transportation was my motorcycle. You know, in order for me to work, in order for me to do anything, I had to depend on that motorcycle to get me anywhere. You know, like I was carrying crazy stuff on it. You know, I'm like carrying beans around. I've got like all sorts of stuff in my backpack, you know, trying to make deliveries and stuff like that. And, you know, it's what I had to do. So I gained a lot of respect for my motorcycle at the time that I moved back. Yeah, so I can't say it enough. I mean, I think that being true to yourself, being passionate, and being loyal to what you're about is huge. You know, I love people who are passionate about something and they do it really well, and I think that that's really important and something that I hope Kansas Cityans are able to see in Blip Coffee Roasters.